Hello there, every pony. This is Mark, aka the Wolf Pony here, and I'm gonna review the MOP episode Green Isn't Your Color. Now, for those of you who have seen my top 5 worst episode list, I'm pretty much in the minority of saying this is a bad episode. And this is written by Megan, who is by every Brony and Pegasus' favorite writer on the staff. Look, I have stated why I didn't like this in the top 5 worst episode list, but I'll go over this episode to show you why I didn't like. I know I'm going to get some negative reactions for this, but that's what I get for speaking in my opinion. Let's get started, shall we? Applejack, how the moral is representative. The moral is great. Throughout the entire episode, it's Rarity and Fluttershy getting in the mix of doing things the other always wanted to be, and shows the struggles of how one secret can go a little too much, and shows how you need to talk to them about it. But however, the way it's represented is just bullshit! You see, Twilight knows about what these two think, so the best way to end this is, I don't know, tell them! But nope, she didn't, because Pinkie Pie made her swear to keep this as a secret. So, you know what both of your friends do not like the position they are in, and you can't tell them just because Pinkie Pie said it would break their trust?
What the fuck is this?
It really bothers me on how Megan could do this. She thought of a great way to represent the moral, and yet she fucks it up. It makes me wonder why only me and the Music Man see this, while everybody else say it's a good way to represent this. It's not, as it leads to so much trouble if you keep this from them for so long. Trust me, it never ends well when you keep secrets, especially when your friends are in so much trouble because of it. You know, it would have been nice to see many perspectives to balance out this, as it would have made it very believable. It's just an option here. So overall, the moral, while it shows it well at times, in the end it just ruins it with Pinkie Pie and Twilight. So I give this section a 1. Rarity, how pretty is the episode? Now, the animation is pretty good. Characters are a lot fluid and it has a lot of good animation moments. I really like the designs on the dresses they show off, and the characters are really expressive. So overall, I have to give this section a 5. There really isn't anything much here I can say, other than the fact that it still has some good animation. Pinkie Pie, how funny is the episode? When it comes to the humor in this, it's alright, I guess. When I say that how Twilight couldn't tell them because she promised and Pinkie makes sure that she never breaks it, well, that is how in a way Megan say that it's funny. But to me, it's more like this. I was more angry at the humor rather than laughing about it. It's just so frustrating seeing that. Seeing Twilight suffering from telling the truth is not funny. In fact, it insulted me in a certain degree because I was like her when I was in high school. Pinkie Pie was at her worst here, as she is very annoying in her kind of humor, being that she takes this very seriously, but making them suffer in the process. Pinkie Pie is my second favorite character, and she does something like this? For shame. But there are some moments with Rarity and Fluttershy that did give me a bit of a laugh. It works as Fluttershy is so, well, shy and Rarity's outgoing, so I did expect some humorous moments, even if it's made them suffer. I love the parody of the pony, which her name be Photo Finish, as she has a funny way of saying how girls should start being who they are instead of something they are not.
I photo finish have arrived.
So overall, I give it a 2, and I'm being generous here because I could have given it a 1 because of the keeping of the secret joke, and it's almost its main focus. If it wasn't for the humor moments in between Fluttershy and Rarity, then it would have been that score. Rainbow Dash, how cool, action-packed, and how the visual gags play in the episode. Well, I can say for the most part, all the gags and actions that did happen works. Fluttershy running away from the reporter shows how much she doesn't like this and plays well for her character. There is also how they portray jealousy in some moments, and it really is well believable. This is one factor I really enjoy, as it shows that both sides struggle through the face of fate on things that are not always going to be what they go for, and sometimes you just want it for yourself. Even if it is in a stupid situation, it works. For visual gags, I can say that the closest to that has to be Twilight on how she has to keep it a secret. Her wanting to tell is a gag, but you already know how I feel about it, as it didn't work! It just comes as mean and insulting to me since I was the same position as her. I do love the gag with photo finish, which I don't remember who he's pony parodying, as I heard it's supposed to be some celebrity or model, I don't know. But I do get a laugh whenever she has some screen time between those overdramatic boss of your modeling career. So overall, I give this a 3. Fluttershy, how emotions play in the episode. When it comes to it, the emotions I feel for Rarity and Fluttershy really hit me here. Throughout the episode, both are really jealous on how they got to where they wanted, but they never see the other side of the stick. As it plays, it does well to make us feel the struggles of these two. That is well played. I just wish I felt the same for Twilight. She's struggling so much and yet I don't care and thought she was a stupid dumb horse because of it. I feel no sorry for her in this episode. It's weird that this episode reminds me of It's About Time in the same sense, as it's pretty obvious of what to do, but yet the writer kept it so that she doesn't know, which makes her look like a dumbass. It's a case I like to call the script says no, where if you did that, then we wouldn't have a normal time slot episode. It's something that Brony Curious said in his reaction to EG. Also, Pinky's actions are just so wrong. You see, she pretty much went overboard with the promise and even goes as far to follow Twilight to make sure. This is what frustrates me, as by now she should know that 2 of her best friends are in deep misery and yet she still thinks this is the best way to do it. Again, why has nobody pointed this out? So overall, I give this a 3 just because of the duo, and that's it. Twilight, how the story is well told. Well, this is where I say that the moral almost killed the story, and that is a shame because it's really good. It tells a very good jealousy story that ends well despite the fact that I like that episode. It gives more interactions and development between Rarity and gives them great moments. Plus the reuse idea that crappy girl shows tend to use is put into a much better state here. But the moral and how it's told just really ruins it for me. I feel like they should have just gotten rid of Pinkie Pie and Twilight and just made it these two the focus. At least that would have made it more reasonable for the moral. Or better yet, just cut out Pinkie and make this fitting for the 3 instead. But nope, as it shows that the crappy girl trope is still present here. Because of that, I give it a 2. And it would have been a 1 if it wasn't for how this is told in a new way despite having the girly trope that everybody hates. Dear Princess Celestia, here are my thoughts on this episode. I'm sorry that I gave a Metacore score on your favorite episode. It's just this. Like Hearts and Hooves Day, which you'll see a review by the way, it's where she has thought of something good, but yet she ruins it with some element. Luckily, this isn't as bad as that, but I do think this could have handled it a lot better if they removed Pinkie Pie and Twi, or just made it through Twilight's perception. I don't mind if they show how to solve problems in different ways, because that I'm all go for, but here they did it in the most wrong way as possible, and it seems that the writer knows it. In short, I think this episode is just average, and that is a shame because it has everything I wanted for an MOP episode. Now, before you go and say it's meant that way, Josh Scorcher said this in his Griffin the Brush-Off review, saying,
"Look, there's not making sense for the sake of humor, and there's just not making sense."
Well, that is all I have to say, and until next time, this is Mark, a.k.a. the Wolf Pony here, and I hope the next day will be even better. See ya!